Hi, I'm the Reverend Catherine MacDonald. I'm the intentional interim minister at Stairs Memorial United Church. In the writing life, Annie Dillard reminds us of something that is at once obvious and shocking. How we spend our days is, of course, how we spend our lives. There's also this Facebook offer going around called My Life in Weeks, where you can input the year of your birth, and based on your life expectancy, they will send you a poster of how many weeks you have left to live. For those of us who are most definitely in the second half of our lives, this can be a bit shocking, especially when we don't feel all that much different on the inside than we did when we were in our 20s or 30s, or maybe even 40s. How we spend our days is how we spend our lives. This little phrase can make you stop short and think, is this what's important? Is there love and joy in my life, no matter what my circumstances? There is so much fear and anxiety in our lives, and I certainly don't minimize it. The war in Ukraine, the ongoing violence, especially against Black and Indigenous people. Fear is an appropriate response to danger, so there is no shame in feeling fearful and anxious. But is that how we want to spend our lives? Is that how we want to spend our days? Because how we spend our days is how we spend our lives. Jesus seemed to know this from the moment of his baptism when he heard the voice of God calling him beloved. He seemed to know that how he spent his days would be how he spent his life. Listen to these words to part of a very ordinary day in Jesus' life. It's written down in the Gospel according to Mark in the first chapter. In the morning, when it was still very dark, he got up and went out to a deserted place, and there he prayed. And Simon and his companions hunted for him, and when they found him, they said to him, "Everyone is searching for you." He answered, "Let us go on to the neighboring town so that I may proclaim the message there also, for that is what I came to do." And he went out through Galilee, proclaiming the message in their synagogues and casting out demons. How many of us make plans for someday? You know, when I lose weight, when the kids are grown, when I have more time, when I retire, when I. Surely I can't be the only one who puts obligation before joy. James Clear, in his book Atomic Habits, writes about the difference between motion and action. He suggests that you can do all the things to get ready for an action. Those are the motions. But if you never get around to taking action, you really haven't done anything. I'll give you an example. Just before the pandemic hit, I looked up lane swimming at the Sportsplex. I love to swim, and I thought perhaps I could swim at least one day a week on my way home. I called to see whether there was a senior's discount. I bought a new bathing suit. And now, in my own defense, a week later, everything shut down. But things have reopened, right? Haven't they? Have I been swimming? No. I did all the things to get ready to swim, but I didn't actually swim. Anybody else ever do anything like that? And who knows, maybe Jesus spent the first 30 years of his life doing things like that, busy work. But when he heard that voice from God calling him beloved, something switched on in him. His ordinary days took on a meaning and a purpose and a passion that they didn't have before. But they were still his ordinary days. Let's look at that first part of Jesus' day again. He got up and went out to a deserted place and prayed. He knew that God was the source of his strength, and he didn't let the demands of others wanting his attention keep him away from that strength. It is really hard not to be overcome by the evil that our 24-hour news cycle offers up to us. But we do have a source of strength that is greater than any evil, a source of strength that is always available, a source of love that cannot be crushed no matter what, if only we tap into it. How we spend our days is how we spend our lives. How are you spending your days? Blessings, my friends. Blessings.